Hello and welcome to CVR News Network, and you're watching CVR English, and welcome to the special program Year Roundup 2024. Apart from the leap year, 2024 is special in many other ways. Like every year, 2024 has also seen highs and downs. However, few remarkable things too happened this year. So many countries too have seen changes in their due course. But the special things happened in this year is it was very busy with the elections. Elections are the most important event in the democratic nations. Right from the world's largest democracy, India, to the powerful democracy, USA, and the oldest democracy, UK, several countries have gone through elections. The year 2024 has been dubbed the year of elections, with over 100 countries representing nearly half of the world's population holding elections. This includes elections in 8 of the 10 most populous nations. This marks a historic moment. It is the first time since 1905, when electoral data was first recorded, that such a global trend has occurred. It is also the first time in history since universal suffrage began in 1894 that this pattern has seen across the democratic nations. This year's elections significantly not just local shifts, but also a potential global realignment, reflecting rising discontent, changing voter priorities, and growing political polarization around the world.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has won a third consecutive term in a much tighter general election than anticipated. His Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) looks set to fall short of the majority and is leading in the 543-seat parliament, below the required 272 seats. However, its coalition partners have gained additional seats. The results are a personal blow to Mr. Modi, who has always secured majorities in elections as both Chief Minister of Gujarat State and India's Prime Minister, and dominated the country's politics for a decade. The verdict marks a surprising revival for the Congress party-led India opposition alliance, defying earlier predictions of its decline, and sharply diverging from both exit polls and pre-election surveys. More than 640 million people voted in a marathon 7-week election, hailed as a world record by election authorities. Nearly half of the voters were women. The BJP remained India's single largest party by seats, and Modi securing third term with his allies. The Prime Minister matches the record of Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first premier. But the significant loss of seats for his party, more than 50, dims the allure of a third term, especially given Mr. Modi's campaign targeting 400 coalition seats, making anything less seem like an underachievement. This has led to jubilation in the Congress camp and some despair in BJP quarters. Despite the BJP emerging as the single largest party, the burden of hype and expectations has left many of their supporters disheartened.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा।
Mr. Modi's supporters believe securing a third term can be attributed to several factors. a record of stable governance, the appeal of continuity, efficient welfare programs, and the perception that he has enhanced India's global image. To his Hindu nationalist base, Mr. Modi delivered on key manifesto promises, revoking the autonomy of Indian-administered Kashmir, building the Ram Temple in Ayodhya, and implementing a controversial citizenship law. Many BJP-ruled states have implemented laws tightening regulations on interfaith marriages.
India's much anticipated general elections concluded with the formation of the 18th Lok Sabha following voting from 19th April to 1st June in 7 phases. The results declared on 4 June saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi return for a third time, heading a coalition government for the first time. Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party secured 240 seats in 543-member Lok Sabha, a significant drop from the 303 seats it won in 2019 elections. Despite this setback, the BJP, in alliance with the National Democratic Alliance, managed to secure a combined total of 293 seats, ensuring its position as the largest bloc in the new parliament. In a surprising turn of the events, the opposition alliance India bloc outperformed expectations, securing 234 seats. This included 99 seats for the Indian National Congress, marking its return to the official position status after a 10-year hiatus. The India coalition performance has seen a challenge to the BJP's dominance, with the Congress playing a pivotal role in their success. The newly elected Prime Minister Narendra Modi confirmed the support of 293 members of the parliament to President Draupadi Murmu, thus solidifying the NDA's claim to form the next government. In addition to the major party alliances, 7 independent candidates and 10 non-aligned party members also won seats, further shaping the composition of the Lok Sabha. With over 968 million, otherwise 96.8 crore eligible voters constituting 70% of the country's total population, the 2024 elections reflected a continued high-level voter percentage in the world's largest democratic exercise.
The last-minute electoral patch of width and a return to the fold has resulted in a windfall for it. It also brought forth the fact that TDP has always won big whenever it went to polls in alliance with other political parties in the past, whether BJP, Left, Janata Dal, BSP. Except for an occasion or two, TDP did not fight any poll without having an electoral understanding with others since its formation in 1982. TDP, which parted ways with the BJP-led NDA in 2018, was virtually in political oblivion and was kept waiting by BJP national leadership till the 11th hour. Like in the past, the poll alliance paid rich dividends not only to TDP and Janasena, but also to BJP, which has a negligible presence in Andhra Pradesh. In fact, TDP President and Chief Minister in waiting, N. Chandrababu Naidu, has also emerged as a key player in national politics. While YSRCP, which fought the polls alone, could win in 4 of the 25 Lok Sabha seats in the state, TDP and its partners won 21. The election was not fought on any major issues in Andhra Pradesh. Even the major demand in 2014 and 2019 polls, special status for AP, had taken back a seat in 2024. But a silent anti-incumbency wave and lack of visible development in the past 5 years were Jagan's undoing. An overconfident YSRCP relegated Jagan's father, late Vice Rajshekhar Reddy, to the back seat during the campaign, which also did not go well with the voters.
The 2024 Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly elections concluded with a stunning victory of the National Democratic Alliance, which secured a dominant position in the state legislature. Held on 13th May 2024 alongside the Indian general elections, the results were declared on 4th June 2024, revealing a decisive win for NDA, popularly known as Kutami. The Telugu Desam party leading the NDA alliance emerged as the biggest winner, claiming 135 out of 144 seats. It contested in the 175-member assembly. The alliance as a whole secured 164 seats, a commanding majority in the state legislature. The Janasena party, a key partner in the NDA, performed strongly by winning all 21 seats it contested. The Bharatiya Janata Party, another member of the coalition, secured 8 out of 10 seats it contested, adding to the NDA's overall strength in the assembly. On the other hand, the incumbent YSR Congress party, led by Chief Minister YS Jagan Mohan Reddy, faced a major setback, managing to win only 11 seats, far below expectations. The Indian National Development Inclusive Alliance India bloc, which includes the Indian National Congress, the Communist Party of India, and the Communist Party of India Marxists, failed to secure any seats in the election. The TDP's landslide victory signals a significant shift in Andhra Pradesh political landscape as the party returns to the power after a period of opposition. With 164 seats in its favor, NDA coalition is poised by forming government in the state, while YSRCP's poor performance marks the end of the dominance in the region.
In June 2024, July 13, 2024, Trump survived an assassination attempt while addressing a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump was shot and wounded on his right ear by Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old man from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. The motive and cause of the assassination attempt are still under investigation by authorities. On September 15, 2024, Trump survived a separate assassination attempt at Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach, Florida. The suspect did not fire his weapon and no deaths or injuries were reported. The suspect, Ryan Wesley Ruth, is in custody.
In a historic turn of the events, former President Donald Trump won a non-consecutive second term, defeating incumbent Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Trump secured 312 electoral votes to Harris 226, marking a decisive victory that returned the Republicans to full control of the federal government. The GOP also regained control of U.S. Senate and maintained a narrow hold on the House of Representatives, achieving a government trifecta for the first time since 2016. Trump's victory came despite facing one of the most tumultuous election cycles in history, including 2 impeachments, a criminal conviction, and the remarkable survival of an assassination attempt, the first against a U.S. presidential candidate since 1972. His comeback reflected strong support among the conservative and working class voters, overcoming fierce opposition from the Democratic establishments. Vice President Kamala Harris, who mounted a fierce campaign, ultimately fell short, while her efforts to unite Democratic base were lauded. Trump's return to power is expected to have a significant domestic and global implications, with potential shifts in the U.S. policies on economic, healthcare, and international businesses.
On 4 July, the UK electorate voted Keir Starmer's Labour into power with a landslide majority. The party won a total of 412 seats to the Conservatives' total of 121, an increase of 211 seats since the previous general election in 2019. This gives them a large majority as they form a government for the first time in 14 years. Supporters argue that the new Prime Minister and his cabinet now have a strong mandate to govern, while critics point to Labour only getting 34% of the overall vote. This may have been a tactical move to ensure victory, but some see it a double-edged sword. Keir Starmer's performance in the 2024 election places him among the top Labour leaders, with a seat share close to that achieved by Tony Blair in 1997 and 2001. Conservative Party has itself to blame. It has been hopelessly divided over the last few years as its moderate and extremist wing clash for influence. This has created a lot of instability, with the UK seeing 4 prime ministers in just the last 8 years. This contributed to a major backlash, with around 2/3 of voters saying that the Conservatives do not deserve to be re-elected. Sunak and his wife Akshata Murthy are worth £651 million, that make Sunak richer than the King of England. Unfortunately for him, he is the Prime Minister at a time when ordinary citizens have suffered a major drop in their standard of living. Sunak trailed behind his Labour opponent Keir Starmer in favourability ratings. In fact, a record 72% of returns saw Sunak unfavourably. This is a bad fall for Sunak, who was once popular for his decisive action as finance minister registered during the COVID-19 pandemic. But it is noteworthy that Labour faced its own challenges as several newly elected cabinet ministers and even the party leader himself experienced a loss in vote share within their constituencies. Looking ahead, the future of politics in the UK is likely to be shaped by how effectively Labour can address many pressing issues it faces as a new government, as well as how the Conservatives reorganize and respond to this historic defeat.
In a stunning shift in British politics, the Labour Party, led by Keir Starmer, trumped in 2024 general election, securing a landslide victory over the ruling Conservative Party under Rishi Sunak. This marked Labour's first general election win since 2005, ending the Conservatives' 14-year reign as the UK's governing party. Labour Party achieved a 174-seat majority, winning a total of 411 seats. The party's largest single party share since Tony Blair's 1997 victory. Despite this overwhelming success, Labour's 33.7 vote share was lowest ever for the majority party, highlighting the least proportional election result in British history. The party's gains were significant, including winning 211 additional seats compared to 2019 election, despite receiving 500,000 fewer votes. Labour became the largest party in England, Scotland and Wales, with the latter remaining a Labour stronghold. However, the party lost 7 seats, including 5 to independent candidates in constituencies with large Muslim populations, a consequence of the position on the Israel-Hamas conflict. In a catastrophic result for the Conservative Party, it was reduced to just 121 seats, its worst showing ever. The Tories lost 251 seats, including 12 cabinet ministers and the seat of a former Prime Minister, Liz Truss, in southwest Norfolk. This was the largest seat loss for any British party in a single election. The combined vote share of Labour and Conservatives was just 57.4%, the lowest since 1910. The outcome marks a seismic political shift and sets the stage for Labour's return to power after nearly 2 decades in opposition.
The most dramatic defeat for a long-time incumbent Three far-right parties had a strong showing in Romania's December 1 parliamentary elections. Also, right-wing candidate Calin Georgescu received the most votes in the first round of the country's presidential elections. However, on December 6, Romania's Constitutional Court annulled the first round results after evidence emerged of substantial Russian interference in the election. The presidential election in Georgia, held for the first time without a direct popular vote, resulted in the election of former footballer Mikhail Kavalishvili, the sole candidate put forward by a pro-government party as head of the state. Opposition parties, which do not recognize the results of the parliamentary elections held in October, have refused to field a candidate, deeming the presidential election illegitimate. Some 61 opposition lawmakers are boycotting the voting process as they refuse to recognize the results of the parliamentary elections held on October 26. The list of nations set to hold national elections in 2025 includes Canada, Chile, Germany, Jamaica, Norway and Singapore. The results will show whether incumbents and those who are seen as representing the political status quo continue to be targets of voter discontent.
The year 2024 has a profound impact on global politics. Notably, almost every incumbent party facing elections in 2024 saw a decline in vote share. This trend was evident in major democracies such as South Africa, India, France, United Kingdom, United States and Japan, although incumbents did not always lose power. In fact, over 80% of the democracies experienced a loss in support for the ruling party compared to the previous election. This marks a historic moment. It is the first time since 1905, when electoral data was first recorded, that such a global trend has occurred. It is also the first time in history since universal suffrage began in 1894 that this pattern has seen across democratic nations. The year's election signify not just local shifts but also a potential global realignment, reflecting rising discontent, changing voter priorities and growing political polarization around the world. With 2024 drawing a close, it is clear that the political landscape is undergoing a significant transformations that could reshape the future of governance across the continents. Let's wait and watch what changes the new governments will bring to the world in 2025. With optimistic hope, we are closing this special program on 2024 Year Roundup. Wishing you all a very happy New Year.